Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of College Town Talk. I'm Jonathan Frank, and I'm so happy to be joined again today by my friend and guest co-host Susan Luna Hazelwood, the Executive Director of Tennessee Tech's Crawford Alumni Center. Susan, welcome back.
Thank you. So excited to be back again.
You know, I was thinking, we interviewed you as a guest on this show, and fun fact, this is, I think today we're taping episode 77. We've had no repeats, but we've, you're one of our favorites, and so this is kind of a fun way to have you back. But I was thinking about when we spoke with you. We talked about a range of things, and we like to keep it, kind of light on this show. But we talked about your daughter Ellie and her health journey. She had neuroblastoma.
Right.
Do I have that right?
Yes.
And I mean, she's also become something of a celebrity, I think, in Cookeville. She might be outshining Bob Luna at this point.
He would say yes.
So how's she doing today?
Thank you so much for asking. I love talking about Tennessee Tech, but Ellie is my favorite subject to talk about. So I appreciate the opportunity just to give a quick update. She's doing great. She has been no signs of disease, which is a weird way to say it, but that's how they say it in the cancer world. There have been no signs of disease for 2 years now. So she's doing wonderful. She's in kindergarten and in dance class and thriving. So we're very excited to be where we are. It's not over. It'll never be over. But she's doing great and is living a much more what a typical kindergartner should be right now.
Well, I love hearing that, and because I know people have been curious, and people in the community have followed your family, you and Mike, through all of this, and so I know people will be happy to hear that. But something else I think we're both really happy about today is our guest, who, by the way, just brought us pastries from Cora's Bakery here in Cookeville. And so we're both big fans of her. And since she is a proud Tennessee Tech alumna and closely involved with our alumni board, I think it's only right, Susan, that you do the honors.
I would love to. As you mentioned, I'm also a big fan. So I would like to welcome today Dr. Nancy Hamilton. She is the chair-elect of the Tennessee Tech Alumni Association Board of Directors. And we're so excited to have you today.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here and to talk about something we all love, which is Tennessee Tech.
All right. So just to give a little background on you, Nancy is a 2-time Tech graduate, now serving as program director for college success at Roane State Community College. She is also a Roane County commissioner and previously served on the county's Board of Education. Outside her many years in higher education leadership, she also holds a Master of Divinity from Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary and previously worked in full-time ministry at several area churches and for the Lifeway Christian Resources. Whew, that was a lot.
I'm blessed very much. Thank you so
wonderful.
much. Thank you for having me.
Well, we have so much we want to talk to you about today, to ask you. Of course, I just love chatting with you all the time. But let's start at the beginning of your Tennessee Tech journey. You came here as a first-generation college student from what you have described as a blue-collar, hardworking family.
That's right.
And of course, we all know you today as a longtime leader in higher ed with 2 education degrees from Tech. But I heard a rumor that you actually started out as a mechanical engineering major.
Well, that rumor was true. Many of you may know where I grew up in Roane County in eastern Tennessee. It's near Oak Ridge, Tennessee, which is in the 1940s was the epicenter of the nuclear renaissance, where the atomic bomb was built, all those things. So when I graduated from high school, it was very appealing to me to think about moving back there and working in that environment. However, when I came to Tech, I will have to be honest and say that I came a little bit not really knowing the full scope of what mechanical engineering entailed, which meant a lot of science classes, which were not my forte. So I'm thankful to this day for a very unplanned conversation with Dr. Joe Sharp, who was then part of our faculty in the College of Education. And his son and I had a great friendship, and we spent a lot of time together outside of the classroom doing a lot of things in the Cookeville community. And so he was intentional about asking me, Nancy, what do you really want to do? Have you ever thought about education? Well, he made his pitch, and here I am today. And so I will say that his conversation worked. So I'm very grateful to be here, and I'm an educator today because of his investment and his support of me. So thank you.
Well, I love that story, and we've had kind of this unintentional theme on the podcast. I feel like of changing your major, that it's okay to change your major. We've talked to faculty and administrators. Brenda Wilson came and sat here and told us about changing her major. Katie Akins changed her major twice, she said, as an undergraduate student, and I'd say they turned out pretty well,
Yes,
as did Dr. Hamilton.
Yes.
But something else we've talked to guests before on the show about is, how their careers can take these interesting turns and changes. And I would put all of us in that category. I mean, we know Susan was executive director for a symphony, fundraised for, performing arts organizations, TPAC and WCTE before she came to Tech. I got the chance to live in D.C., do the politics thing for a while. In your case, as Susan said in the introduction, you spent many years in vocational ministry, and I can just imagine how good you must have been at that, because you're so relational, encouraging, so kind to everybody. What did you find most rewarding about those years? And I'm wondering if any of those skills you picked up in that line of work translated to your work in higher ed, because I'm thinking you've probably helped some people at Roane State that might have felt like they needed some divine intervention to stay in the class.
Sure. And thank you for asking that question, because when I think about those years, the thing I love about that role was that you are walking with people through some of the most joyous times of their life, but also some of the most difficult. And so trying to connect people with resources and hope in times where they need help, that's really a calling of mine, and that was fostered in this community here in Cookeville. I served on staff part-time as a college student, working with young people here in this community. So that's where all that kind of was birthed. So I'm really grateful for that opportunity. And so all of those skills that you use in those type of situations, in joyous and difficulty, are really translatable to the education world. And I use those skills every single day with the students that I see and the students with whom I work. Many of them come looking for hope. Many of them need help. Many of them don't know where to go. And so those same skills that I use in the ministerial vocational role are the same skills that I use today every single day. Even before I just came here today, I had the opportunity to talk to a student who was struggling about some decisions she had made about her major. Was this the right path with her, where she needed to be? And we had a great conversation about what are some things she might want to consider. And so I hope that she'll take those nuggets of thought and maybe apply those and see where she might end up. So,
well, that is, I mean, you're just, I think, so gifted at that. And I didn't, I don't even think I've told you this, Susan, but when I met Nancy on the alumni board, because we've all known each other that way, I thought, she looks kind of familiar. Something about her seemed familiar to me. Well, she was on staff at my childhood church and just outside of Nashville. And then, but then get this, I was talking to her at the chamber dinner that you invited us both to sit at your table. And I had noticed that she had interacted on social media with this other congregation that I'd gone to in East Tennessee. Well, come to find out, she had worked there too. So I told, I was telling somebody at work, I said, I think Nancy Hamilton is my guardian angel. And then they said, well, that's a nice way to look at it, because she might think that you're her stalker.
I don't think that, Jonathan. I don't. No, thank you. That's hilarious.
That is fantastic. I love both of those things, actually. And I will say that Nancy also, when we were first getting to know each other through the board, was when my daughter was still going through treatment. Mm-hmm. So you were there at my lowest low as well. And also when Ellie, now that she is doing well. So the lowest lows and highest highs. Yeah, I absolutely understand how impactful you could be on people's lives, because you have been on my life. So
Thank you.
I appreciate that. All right, well, let's dive in a little bit more to what you're doing at Roane State Community College. And Roane State is a valuable partner to us here at Tennessee Tech. And I have read that you started out as a completion coach, which meant that you were tasked with helping Roane State's 50 most at-risk adult students stay on track with their studies. And now you're the program director for College Success, where you help to oversee students' first-year experience and learn skills to rise to the top in the classroom and in the workforce. So you really have a front row seat to how important it is for students to finish college and hopefully go on to earn a 4-year degree from somewhere like Tech. For students who may be struggling with their studies, even those who might be listening today, what is your advice? And without giving away too many details, can you give us a story of a student that you have seen persevere, which you kind of already did?
Yes.
and I'm sure you've had several. So if you have another one to share,
I do.
we would love to hear about it.
Well, great. Well, first, I want to say I have lots of thoughts to share with any student who may be struggling. But when I think about their struggle and where they are, I have to kind of go back to when I first started tech, how it was a struggle for me. I came from a blue-collar family. You're right, Susan. My parents were so supportive. But they didn't know what to help me with in getting to the college campus. So I'm really grateful for a Algebra 2 teacher at Roane County High School who made a way for many of my friends and I to go to Tennessee Tech to make a visit. And we all ended up going there. And for all of us, it changed the whole course of our life. So let me just say that. But also I would say to the students who are struggling, it's often understood that things that are worth achieving are always uphill. And so the greatest lessons we learn in our lives are often in those areas of challenge and difficulty. So I would say to them, number one, when you want to quit, don't. Number two, it would be so important that those students would find some community wherever they are, whatever college they're in, whatever path they're on, people who are a little bit smarter, who are a little bit wiser, people who have walked a little bit ahead of them so that they can help them foster those and navigate those difficulties that they choose. I found that at Tennessee Tech, and it made all the difference. So I would tell those students, number one, don't give up when you want to, and be intentional about finding that community that can really help you discover who you were made to become. And going back to your question, Susan, about the student, actually, I had a phone call on the way here from another student. She is a single mother, has 5 children.
Whew.
She is in rural northern East Tennessee in Scott County. This young woman, I'm going to say young, she's a little bit younger than me. She's working so hard, has 2 full-time jobs, and is only able to do what she's doing because of the support of family. She's changed her major 3 times in her time at Roane State, but I'm really proud to say that she is going to be transferring to Tennessee Tech next fall as an education major. And so I think walking through her story and helping her figure out the path that she needs to take, it has really brought some hope to her because she grew up in a family where she didn't even think that a post-secondary degree was even possible. So now she's persevered through the hard. She's found her community. A lot of folks in Scott County are really helping her. And so it's my honor just to be a part of her journey and to help point her to our university that, by the way, produces the #1 teachers in Tennessee.
Yes.
I'm really proud about that. And so she's going to make an excellent teacher. She's been practicing a long time, and so I'm really excited about her success. And so she's going to be great at Tennessee Tech.
What a great story.
Yeah, I love that story. Well, Nancy, you've made such an impact in the classroom, but you're also, some people may not know, making an impact in local politics. As we mentioned in the introduction, you served on the Roane County Board of Education before winning a spot on the Roane County Commission. And I understand this was not something you ever planned or aspired to. So how did that happen?
Well, thank you for that question, because let me just confess, I never aspired to be in the role I was in, that I'm now currently in. As you know, I'm the program director of college success at Roane State. One of my roles is to go into the counties where we have campuses and to recruit educators, to recruit teachers who teach our course. Well, one of those counties is the county in which I reside, where I grew up, which is Roane County, right outside of Knoxville. And so the teachers who teach for us teach K-12. And one of the things I kept hearing them say when we would have meetings together and just connection times is that we need someone to represent the needs of our students currently in the classroom, as well as the needs of educators in our system. And we do not feel like we have that. And so just in a passing conversation, here again, unintentional, a conversation happened with a friend of mine who is an educator in Roane County. And she said, Nancy, have you ever thought about doing this? And I'm like, what is that? Of course, I knew what a school district is, but I really didn't understand the role of what a school board member did. Well, I'm a lifelong learner, and so I'm curious. I want to find out things. And so I think that comes from my parents instilling in me kind of a figure it out attitude. Figure it out. You may not know what path to take, but you have the skills and the knowledge to figure it out. And so I began to do a little investigation, began to talk to people who were smarter, wiser, older than me, and asking, do you think I should do this? Is this something you think I could do? And they all surprisingly said yes. So
Not surprisingly, I'm sure.
well, it's just not a role I would see myself in. You know what I mean? So I said, well, what have I got to lose? Nothing. And so I did make a go for it and had the opportunity to serve on the Roane County School Board for 4 years. And so I will have to be honest and say it was one of the most growing experiences, leadership experiences of my life. It was hard. It was challenging. I believe it made me a better listener, not only as a community member, but a better educator, because now I know the things that our educators deal with. So that's how I ended up on the school board. I did that for 4 years and wasn't really sure if I would make another run for it. But at that time, our county commission approached me, Roane County Commission, and asked me to consider being appointed as a county commissioner to fulfill a spot that was left vacant by a previous commissioner. And so here again, I'm like, I don't know what the future holds, but I'll just try it and see. Anyone at Roane State knows me that I'll try anything once. So we'll see. You know, that's kind of my mojo there. So I tried it, and I am now finishing the rest of that duration of that term here in August, and I am about to run for my first full term in August. So I'm looking forward to that. It's been an honor to serve the people, quite frankly, who raised me. And so it's very moving to me to think about the needs they have and that they would put trust in me to make sure that their voice is heard. So it makes a difference.
That is wonderful. So in case our listeners cannot already tell, you're pretty busy. And I'm thankful that 3 years ago, you willingly took on yet another task, serving on the Tennessee Tech Alumni Association Board of Directors. And you have been so involved on our alumni board and will soon step into the role of board chair, which I'm so excited about. Having a good board chair, for anybody who's been involved in boards or nonprofit, having a good board chair is very important to the success. So what made you want to give back to Tennessee Tech in this way?
Well, I'll have to be honest. I'm a little bit older than you guys. And so I had a big birthday at the kind of a half-century mark a few years ago. And when you come to that number, you begin to kind of evaluate your life. Am I really using every resource that God has given me in every capacity to bring the best good and value to the other people who are around me? And so one of those areas I thought I need to step up my game is with a university that I love so much. So I just kind of reached out and thought, maybe I'll try this. I don't really know, but gosh, I love it so much. I'm so honored to have this role next year. We have an incredible board. We have gifted leaders, not just in Cookeville, but across the United States. And so I'm honored to be able to do just a little bit of leadership with them to try to figure out how can we leave a mark for the next generation of Golden Eagles. So, we grew up learning that we want to give back to those who gave to us, right? All of us sit here because Tennessee Tech changed our lives. And so when I think about that, I want to make sure my small part in this equation is just I want to make sure with my time, treasure, and talent that future generations that come after us will have the same opportunities that you and I had coming to Tennessee Tech.
Oh, I just love that so much, and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you.
Since your involvement in the board is now part of my job, it makes it much easier for me to do my job when I have people like you. And our entire board is incredible. We have so many dedicated alums who support us and are involved. And it's just a wonderful group. So,
well, Susan, I want to just say, just publicly and on the air, that you do a great job leading us because you have such vision for it. And I think vision really matters with any leader. So I'm honored to serve with you. And I know Jonathan is as well. And so I'm just delighted that we can partner together on something we love so much.
Well, thank you. That's very kind.
I would tell anybody listening, if you want to feel really proud about, Tennessee Tech, go look just at the roster of some of these people that serve on the alumni board.
Yes.
And the careers that they have, we've interviewed several of them. It's so impressive. Everybody, Tyler Asher, who works for the state of Tennessee, he's an assistant commissioner, actually gave you a shout out, Nancy, when we interviewed him. I'm thinking of Penny Judd, who worked in the White House.
Yes, quality leaders.
So many impressive people, and you are right there with them, Nancy. And I remember when I spoke to you for a written story we did a couple of years back. I just remember something you said that stayed with me. You said that you wanted to to leave a legacy, do something that will outlive you.
Absolutely.
And I think you're doing that. You're planting these seeds and helping people in ways that you may never even fully see the impact of that. But
Right.
but you've just made such an impact. And it leads me into the final question. And I know you listen to this show, so we end each interview on this podcast with the same question. And that is, what is one way that Tennessee Tech has impacted your life?
Well, I'm going to say a lot of the things that many of the folks who preceded me have said. Where do I begin, right? I could go on for hours about how Tennessee Tech has shaped my life. But if I could say just a few things, number one, it set the foundation. It gave me opportunity to lead as well as make mistakes and learn. Another way that Tennessee Tech shaped my life is it gave and modeled for me examples of servant leaders. I think about Dr. Joe Sharp. I think about James Atkinson. I think about Diane Sadler, Yvonne Malone. I think about Dr. Volpe. I could just go on, and Dean Ritchie and Wally Karif and all these people in my generation of Tennessee Tech that really took time for us to see us not just as students in the classroom, but invested in our lives outside of the classroom. Tennessee Tech is a great community. It's a family. And I think when I went to Tennessee Tech, I did not realize the foundation that was set for my life. Everything I am, really, I have to credit for what I learned at Tennessee Tech. So I love this place. I want to do everything I can to make sure that future generations have an opportunity just as I did. And I'm just delighted that for my journey included this stop in the road at Tennessee Tech. It changed everything for me.
Well, we're delighted that you are a part of the Tennessee Tech community. Thank you so much for being our guest today on College Town Talk.
Thank you so much. Wings up.
And for our listeners, if you are enjoying our show, which I'm sure you are, and hearing from our all-star Tennessee Tech alums like Dr. Nancy Hamilton, would you do us a favor and leave a 5-star review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get this podcast? It helps spread the word about all the great things happening right here in Cookeville.
We'll meet you back here again next week for more conversations with the people who make Cookeville, Tennessee's college town. College Town Talk is presented by Tennessee Tech University in partnership with the Cookeville-Putnam County Visitors Bureau. Your hosts are Jonathan Frank and Shan Stout, and original music is performed by Andrew Buckner. Visit us online at tntech.edu/collegetowntalk.